Okay, video number 2. This is a rough-in plumbing. I'm right down in the sewer trench. You can see it's about eye level, so we're about 5 feet deep. They dug it nice and wide. If you look down here, you're going to see the sewer lateral that comes in. It's a white PVC pipe, and they've attached it with the green glue. It's supposed to be a combination glue. I hate the crap. It works, but you also see the green tracing wire that they run all the way up this. You can find it later. They put a clean out right here. It's going to be at ground level when they're eventually done. And they have a combi fitting that makes a quick right-hand turn and heads up. Used a 22, a 16th pin right here, 22 and a half technically. And as you can see up yonder, they got two-way clean out. One going in, one going out. They just reverse the combis. Those both come up and are capped off. Tracing wire finishes right there, so there's no more tracing wire within the home. These 245s and make another 90, so we already have 180 degrees. They follow this pipe up, and you can see we're going to head into a bathroom on the right-hand side here. It could be a lavatory sink right there, seeing how it's in the bathroom area. Follow that up. I'm now about 3 feet deep. Solid granite here. Joy. Is the Y right here. So take it over. Stub up for a toilet. You notice they have one of the heel outlets like we use. They just go ahead and they stub their toilets up wildly. This is about eye level right here. That toilet's on the left-hand side there. It's about 12 inches, maybe 10 inches above slab level. I'm going to do a wide shot in a minute so you can see the forms themselves. And the other one is obviously the vent coming off that heel outlet. Just a single fixture there. And over here they have a lavatory that comes right up off the combi. Later on it'd be nice to come back and see how well they did on the rough end. They use another 45 there, so we're changing directions again. I'm sure there's some logic to this. But as you can see how they strap the pipe there. They put tape around it. Then they use just a standard rebar, it looks like 1/2 inch, and they wire it. We do have some wires, so we can demonstrate that exact method. And as we continue on up in this little arm here, got a long sweep, 2-inch long sweep with a 2-inch sanitary tee, and the vent going up, a dirty arm, or the drain arm coming over, the waste arm, into a 2-inch P-trap, probably a tub, but could be a shower. Let's pick it up again. By the way, they used a 3x2 combi to get to that single fixture there. A Y, a 3x2 Y. Heads off, up in that direction. If I had to guess, it's all by itself. Either laundry or kitchen. 2-inch all the way with a long sweep at the end. 20-foot piece of pipe. This pipe is full of water, by the way. I'll show you how they continue on up with 3-inch. Now I'm about just a little over 2 feet deep. Another 3x2 Y. Try to keep my shadow out of it. And that arm's off for, again, it's either the kitchen or the laundry. It's all by itself. It's not near any bathroom. So far we've done a kitchen, a laundry, and 1 bath up front. Looks like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. Let's pick up that line and continue running it back. Another 3x2. This is why I buy a lot of 3x2 Ys. They're very versatile. You know, this could have been a combi if they'd brought it all the way up into that area. But this works just as well. And then they just use a 45 to get it where they want to go. I like this method better because it gives you some adaptability. This is an interesting setup here. So they brought that 2-inch line over, and they have stubbed up 2-inch long sweep, and then a 2x2x2x2 figure fitting. Also known as a fixture fitting. I call them figure 5. I don't know why. Somebody told me that. Each one arms off. This one arms over, 45, and then over to what looks like a tub or a shower. This is probably the master. I noticed they use a screw in here. Now, what they're doing there, I used to use a cap. Once I filled it up to this point, with water, I would come and put a mechanical cap on there. That way all the water would bleed out. What they do is they put a screw in, they let the air seep out. As this is filling up, it's pushing all the air out. The opposite of a vent, or it is a vent. And then they just put the screw back in. And it works. So that is full of water. Some inspectors will tap this, and they'll hear a hollow sound, and they'll think that the fitting's not tested, when in reality, it's under as much pressure as anything else in here. It's just air pressure as opposed to water pressure. So anyways, back to that figure fitting. Vents up, eventually go through the roof, VTR, comes over, picks up a 45, and then on to another shower. It's a 2-inch P-trap with a riser, and they flag them up. I'm assuming they got some good numbers here because that needs to be really, really close to center. It's not hard to figure out as long as the plans don't change. And they usually don't. Again, they strap this. I'll go to this one here. It's the best view. They strapped it with, first they put the duct tape on there to protect the pipe a little bit. Not very little, but enough. There's that, and then the 2 rebars in a V shape, and then tighten the crap out of that wire with probably their channel locks, and get a pretty solid connection there. When backfill happens, you can see there's a little, when they're backfilling, you just want to be careful. You know, once it's solid, it's in the ground, it's not going anywhere. At this point, it can still be moved. Okay, so let's continue up this 3-inch line here, 3x2Y. That is probably going to the sink. Yep. Probably a lavatory sink. And then on the other side, going the other way, is another, well, they didn't go with a heel outlet this time. They went with something else, but it still works. Let's see. It is essentially a heel outlet, because what they've done, this is a perfect example. They have taken a 3-inch Santee, 3x3x3, and they put a 3x2 reducer in the top. It is essentially exactly the same thing as a 3x2 heel outlet, only they've had to add extra fitting. When you're plumbing, you make do with what you have on your truck. You don't want to make a special trip or do anything that you don't need to do. Again, with the V-shaped strapping, with the 1/2-inch rebar, pretty stout. They glue the crap out of these joints. See if I can get a shot of that. They use a cap like that. I'll tell you why I use the mechanical type, and I'll try to bring an example into the classroom. There's that screw. And then as you continue up here, you see, what the heck? We've got a 10-foot piece of pipe there. Every house has to have one. It is filled with water. So they'll take some means, either a hose that loops in over the top. That's what I used to do. I used to strap mine double too because it gets kind of heavy. It's full of water, and in the wind it can want to topple over. So they do have it strapped here. Looks like they used a little piece of 2-inch ABS for a spacer. Not a bad idea. And they taped their rebar this time. Either way, it protects the pipe somewhat. So it's not the wire they worry about on the pipe, it's the rebar apparently. I used to use a lot more duct tape than this. I'd only wire if I had to. It's just minimized how much I had in my truck. Again, the toilet riser. It is well above the floor line. Then cut it off. I used to use a laser or level these off so they'd be about a 1/2 inch below the concrete level. What that did for me is it allowed the concrete guy to finish right over the top. Thin layer of concrete. They can get a perfectly smooth bit of concrete. It makes it easier on them, and it also makes it so I don't have to cut anything off later. I had to be really precise with my measurements, but it took 5 minutes. And it also gave me a really level area to put my toilet down into, depending on what kind of material was used on the floor itself. I didn't want any waves. I didn't want my toilet rocking. So I liked it when they could finish it flat, and they will get it really, really flat. So let's pull back and take a overall view of this. There's the toilet, the lavvy coming off that 3x2Y. There's 2 showers, or a tub shower and a shower with a fixture fitting. Running right on down. I would not want to be the backhoe guy in this. And there's the kitchen or the wash machine, I'm not sure. And you can see this run here. This is the other 2-inch line running right here. And then the 3-inch continues down. So 2 toilets, 3-inch pipe. There's no point in putting any bigger than you need. Check this out. So, see how they jumped that up in the trench there? Either they didn't need to dig it any deeper, I can tell you that. In fact, they could have been a lot shallower in this whole thing. I'll explain the way I did it, and it's just personal preference. To keep my trenches shallow, so I didn't have to remove this much rock and this much material, and then in turn backfill that much material. So let's hop up out of the trench here and give you a view of this double clean out. Everybody does it here. And then we'll look back down at that sewer. That sewer trench is about 5 feet deep. Notice it kind of dove down quick. It's hard to tell on the video, but right about that 16th bend, they dove down pretty quick to get to their sewer lateral. Anyways, there's an overall view of what the forms look like when you show up on a job. This one's partially formed, and they probably do that for access for their tractor and such. But you see these piles of spoils, they call them, right here? That, to me, is a lot of unnecessary digging. There may be some code around here that requires them to go that deep. I can't imagine what it is. But there you go with your plumbing rough-in. Let's take a walk over here real quick before we leave, because we're going to be studying this. And here's an example of a water service that is complete. Okay, this is great. They used copper tubing, tracing wire, and that copper tubing is going to be tied into the meter. 1-inch PEX, I love it. Great material. But man, you got to watch stuff like this when you're backfilling. It'd be really damaging. PEX line continues. 1-inch PEX adapter under the soil. Highly unusual, but it's still an effective fitting. You know, so use what we have. Use a spacer there to get that strap nice and straight. I can appreciate these guys do a little better work than the last people we looked at. Water's on to this point, so we have pressure there. Got your irrigation stuff. I always made those 1-inch, but either way. So this one just has a 1-inch service all the way. Kind of crooked going in there, but they can shut this down later, cut this, and flex this back in so it's at 90 degrees. The rest of this is electrical panel, stuff like that, so they'll have power when they go to run it. Okay, this is Rio Gary rough-in video number 1. Have a good day.